Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Edward, thanks for coming so promptly. I want you to meet Francis Corbin. He's responsible to the Foreign Office. Mr. Corbin, Captain Edward Holt of HMS Hero.
Captain Holt?
Mr. Corbin?
Well, Edward, have you fully recovered from your adventures in the Pacific?
The windsong business? Yes, more or less.
And how's Miss Carter, isn't it?
I hope to have dinner with her tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, Edward. I'm afraid that won't be possible. What's your notice for steam?
8 hours. About to go to 24.
We have to sail you. Rush job. Look. About 3 hours ago, a small executive aircraft took off from Sekon airstrip on a routine flight to Singapore. Half an hour ago, there was a mayday from the pilot. He was ditching about 100 miles due east of Phan Rang on the Vietnamese coast. That's there.
What happened to the aircraft?
The pilot didn't say. Sit down, gentlemen. Would you like to take over, Mr. Corbin?
The aircraft was on charter to the UK government, contained the pilot and a government courier. The courier was carrying a briefcase with top secret and extremely delicate papers.
I see. There's no news of what happened to the 2 men?
The mayday was coded. We haven't asked for a search.
Why not? Those men could be drowning.
These papers must be recovered at all costs, Captain.
Aren't men's lives worth more than a set of papers?
Not in this instance.
Edward, the scheme is that you should sail as soon as possible, locate the wreck with your sonar equipment, and use your divers to bring the case up.
You know what you're asking.
I think so.
You want me to pinpoint a tiny wreck on the seabed in God knows what depth of water, working off a position from a coded mayday by a man in a crashing aircraft?
I'm sorry, Captain, but you must try.
It's a waste of time. Time better spent in looking for the men.
If they're alive, they can wait. They've got dinghies.
And what if the courier has the case with him in the dinghy?
What if he has?
Then we should be searching for the dinghy and not the aircraft.
If he took the papers with him, he'll have destroyed them against the chance of being picked up by the wrong party. We lose nothing by going for the plane.
Except perhaps 2 men.
They knew the score, Captain.
The patrol craft we're reducing to immediate notice anyway. They'll go out ahead of you and look for survivors.
The patrol craft? Well, it'll take the best part of 3 days to get there.
I told you the men have dinghies.
Well, I can be there within 22 hours of sailing. I should look for the men first.
Edward, your orders are that you should concentrate solely on the case.
The matter can't wait. If by the merest chance it should fall into the wrong hands, its contents would prove extremely embarrassing, if not politically disastrous to the government. Now, if you do get the case, your job doesn't finish there.
No, indeed. If you find the case, it will be locked and sealed. Leave it that way and take it on to Singapore. Diplomatic clearance will be arranged.
For what?
You are to go alongside in Sembawang shipyard and land the case in the care of a responsible officer.
He's to hire a car, no taxis, I must stress that, take it into Singapore and deliver it to the High Commissioner at Phoenix Park personally.
Is there any danger in this for my people?
No, none.
Man the route. Like looking for a needle in a haystack, sir.
Precisely. Well, those are our orders. James, get us down to immediate notice, inside the 8 hours if you can.
Right, sir.
I've got to go ashore for a while. Paul, plot a passage. I'll see it as soon as I get back.
All right, sir.
Fuller? Yes, sir. Ship is under sailing orders. Recall watchkeeper's libertyman, then get around the base for the caterer and other loafers.
Right, sir.
Then try the bar in the China Fleet Club for all those ashore on duty.
I'll try that one myself.
Yes, thought you might.
Sir,
Yes?
any reason for the panic?
Yes, we've declared war on Scotland.
Oh, that's not panic, sir. That's suicide.
Zoe?
Edward, how nice. How did you know I was here?
I asked at the desk. They said you were often up here.
Yes, I am.
Not brooding, I hope.
No, I'm all right now. How about you? You're deserting.
In a way, yes. Deserting you.
You're sailing.
One of those amusing exercises. Get to sea as quickly as possible. No warning.
That's a pity.
We shall come back here eventually, but we may put in somewhere else first.
I see.
I'll cable you as soon as I know.
Okay?
I'm very disappointed.
That's the way it goes.
You're staying in Hong Kong, aren't you?
For a while?
I shall come back, even if I have to take station leave and fly.
All right.
You could be more enthusiastic.
I was enthusiastic about tonight.
That's not my fault.
No, it's mine.
What do you mean?
It's the established pattern.
Of what?
My life.
You're wrong.
Am I?
Zoe, you mustn't...
Be sorry for myself. Yes, I know. All right, just forget it.
I was going to say, you mustn't believe in this doom thing you cultivated.
Look, I
for
said
yourself.
forget it. I think the best thing you can do is just go back to your ship.
Yes, all right. Take care.
And you.
Ah, Hans. I need a leading hand to take a patrol ashore.
What for?
I'm missing the off-watch QM and the bosun's mate.
I'm not missing them.
Well, how about it?
Oh, no chance. I got a part of ship to run.
What, from down here?
Ah, I delegate. You should try it.
I am trying it. I'm asking you to take a patrol ashore.
Well, what's stopping you going yourself?
Well, I want to get a letter off to the missus before we sail.
Married men, you
No,
make
look,
me
it's,
laugh.
it's not that. See, I got a telegram this morning. We've just had our first kid.
No. Well, that's great. Pat, congratulations. How come we didn't hear?
I've been keeping it quiet, you know, save the embarrassment, all the wisecracks. Even told the signals office to play it down.
What is it?
It's a wee boy.
Great. You get on with your letter, Oppo. Send him my love. Who was it you're missing again?
Georgie Bayliss.
Topless bar.
And the wee bosun's mate, Sandy.
Any kind of bar. Take it the patrol's got permission to stop for one. Wet the baby's head.
Is that what they went? I've not read the book yet.
Well, I've worked with SIS before, and I didn't enjoy the experience.
We don't know that it is SIS. Mr. Corbin wasn't very forthcoming.
Only SIS would ignore survivors and go for a bag of documents.
Landing in Singapore with something that hot.
Yes. Well, the first thing is to find it, and that'll be hard enough. We'll dive with you.
Leading Seaman Anderson is the only other clearance diver on board.
Right. And you are ready to vector us onto that plane with unerring accuracy?
He couldn't find the Kai-Tak runway, let alone a plane.
I shall get you to sea, sir, and to the right area, and I hope it's full of sharks.
Hero's cleared Li Yuman. She's on her way.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I suppose if they have to go into Singapore, there is no danger to them.
Oh, if I thought there was, I wouldn't be entrusting those documents to amateurs.
They're hardly amateurs.
But they're amateurs in my field.
Then why didn't you send professionals with them in the ship?
Because the Navy is not the only service to suffer cuts east of Suez. I've no one suitable left out here.
You can get someone from London in time to meet the ship at Singapore.
Captain, the operation has been approved, as it stands. Let's leave it at that.
The task is, therefore, to locate the aircraft wreckage, dive on it, and attempt to find the case.
If we do so, we then carry on to Semperwang Shipyard, near Singapore, where the case will be landed in the custody of an officer for delivery to the High Commissioner of Singapore City. Now, this is a highly classified operation.
There must be no talk of it ashore, no mention of it in any letters, either now or in the future. In particular, if we do go into Singapore, there must be no mention of any case. This could put the life of the officer who lands in considerable jeopardy. That is all.
There you go. Diving department does it again.
Our fearless frogmen. That's right, Nobby boy. Above us the waves. Where do we get such men?
Could be dodgy hands.
How come?
Dead bodies in the plane.
Never worries me. I live with enough of them down here.
No, it's a Secret Service job.
You reckon?
Well, it's gotta be. We had one like this in the old Belfast, off Aden.
Yeah?
Yeah, 2 blokes got winched on board. From a chopper at sea.
Where from?
Who knows? They had a load of kit with them, and a special dinghy. We put them ashore in the dinghy at night.
Well, what happened?
Well, we were supposed to pick them up the next night.
Well, they never showed.
No, never seen again.
Well, they civvies.
Whoa, Marine officers, I heard. Special boat section. Whoever they were, they must have been nutcases.
Yeah, but in this job, somebody's got to land from Hero.
An officer, mate. Rank has its perks.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes, Bob. I was just coming down to see you. Well, if you want to go ashore, you're out of luck. We're at sea.
This job in Singapore.
Shh.
Bulkheads have ears. About that case.
What about that case?
Who's going to land with it?
Knowing my luck, me.
Oh.
Why, oh?
Well, I was going to volunteer.
Good Lord. That makes you worth 10 press men.
Can you be serious?
Not without notice.
I'd like you to bear me in mind, sir.
Why should I have nightmares? That's what I do when I'm trying to lie to the taxman.
I'm trying to write to Zoe.
Oh, how is she?
Oh, I don't know. Still a bit down, I think. Reaction to Windsong, probably. Social call?
Sort of. I just popped in to tell you that the prototype Fuller was born this morning.
Fuller? Oh, splendid.
Yes.
You putting a note on daily orders?
No, he's being a bit coy.
Oh, yes. He had a bit of bother with his marriage at one stage, didn't he?
I believe so. At least they must be talking to each other nowadays.
I suppose it could be achieved without dialogue.
Yes, underwater.
Only a diver can think of that.
That's just what we needed.
Who?
Norman, me. A kid. You know, cement the relationship.
I know, I got 4 of them, remember?
Aye, but your marriage isn't stormy.
Well, Gale Falls at one time. I used to go to Damage Control State 1 every night before I went home.
Hey, I wonder if he's got red hair, eh?
And a beard and screams in a Glaswegian accent.
Aye, well, I reckon I better turn in. Oh, do you mind if I watch the diving tomorrow?
I don't care what you do, as long as you don't sit around here all day sounding like a cross between Dr. Spock and Florence Nightingale.
What, don't you like kids?
I love them, but I re-engaged to get away from them.
Oh.
They'll go on. I'll sit up all night and knit him a kilt or something.
One mile to run on the present course, sir. For the datum. I shouldn't think we'll find anything when we get there.
Bearing green 05, range 1,900 yards.
I don't believe it. If that is the plane,
It's exactly where they said it would be.
That position was a guess by the pilot before he ditched.
Then we're lucky. Here it is, the aircraft. That. Diving party standby.
First Lieutenant, bring the bridge.
First Lieutenant, sir.
James, we've a likely contact at 3/4 of a mile. I'll stop the ship 50 yards to starboard of it on the beam. I'm calling away the Gemini now.
So. Away, Gemini, rigged for diving.
All right, Anderson?
Ready, sir. Right, let's go.
Aircraft bearing green 10, range 62 miles, low.
Roger, speed.
Stand by, sir.
Check for electronic transmissions on the bearing.
Roger, sir.
How far away is Vladivostok?
Well, about 2,500 miles, sir.
Does a Badger aircraft have the operating range?
No, sir. The Bear has. Do you think the Russians are taking a hand?
Well, this is their patch now.
Bridge below, aircraft speed 400 knots. EW suggests either Badger or Bear.
Roger. We think it's a bear.
Bridge below, aircraft now at green 05, range 12.
Roger, P-Well. It's a Russian bear, overflying.
Could be a coincidence, sir.
Yes, but you know what they say. One thing is happenstance, two a coincidence, and the third time...
It's enemy action.
He's got it.
Hero, Gemini.
Hero, Captain.
First Lieutenant, sir. We have the goods.
Roger, well done. Close the ship.
Gemini, roger, sir.
End of phase one.
Yes, sir. Phase 2 is the exciting bit. Can't help feeling it should be ticking, sir.
Ah, James, well done. How was it?
No sign of the pilot or the courier, sir. The case was in the passenger cabin.
Could it have been a successful ditching?
The aircraft was in a hell of a mess. Must have gone in with a fair old impact.
So the crew should have been dead in their seats.
Unless they parachuted, sir.
The pilot's mayday said he was ditching.
That could explain why the courier left the case, sir. If he did parachute, he might not have fancied coping with the case as well.
Yes, that's possible.
Was that a Russian bear that overflew us?
Yes, it was. Could have been a routine patrol. We don't even know who the other side are in this.
And we're on course for Singapore?
Yes. I reported by secret signal to Capic that phase 1 was successful.
Oh, Mr. Corbin will be pleased.
Yes. One must assume that some things please Mr. Corbin.
Well done, Hans. Here you go to it,
Yeah. China. Where's the cuppa?
What's it like down there?
Like you. Wet.
Right, go on, Hans. What happened?
Well, I suddenly came upon this face. Horrible. All contorted. The eyes all staring. The mouth sort of turned back in this terrible grin. And the hands, like claws, all mottled and grasping.
In the aeroplane?
No, in the passage.
What?
It was the master at arms. I met him on the way to the mess.
Was it creepy?
Not until I bumped into the first lieutenant. Nothing like a flipper in the face to give you a heart attack.
I wouldn't do it.
What?
Dive.
Well, better than firing guns. Don't forget, Sheriff.
What's that, Hans?
Your sprog joins the mob. Got to be a diver.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the action is.
Leading regulator Fuller, first lieutenant, come in.
I don't know. I don't seem to get much peace either. You wanted to see me, sir?
Come in, Fuller. Sit down.
Thank you.
How's the postnatal depression?
Oh, sheer hell, sir. Glad it wasn't twins.
Right. Now, you know about the requirement to land this case in Singapore.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd like you to accompany the officer who takes it ashore.
Who'll that be, sir?
Me, in all probability.
Right, sir.
Well, the thing is, well, I think it'll be the biggest anticlimax since my last run down Wan Chai, but it could conceivably be dodgy.
Yes, sir, I heard the captain's broadcast.
See, if you aren't a volunteer...
No, that's all right, sir, I'll go.
Good. Well, we'll have a look at maps and things later on. Find out where the best pubs are.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you, Fuller.
Thank you, sir.
Well timed. The tea is still fresh.
Your cryptic message meant that they've got the case.
Yes. A good effort, wasn't it?
And they're on their way to Singapore.
Diplomatic clearance is fixed.
I know. I fixed it.
This whole business worries me.
Why?
The Navy is not trained in this kind of operation.
Postmen do it every day.
What?
Deliver packages to the right address.
Sugar?
Hi, Hans. Not at the movie?
Nah, seen it. How about you?
No, I thought I'd get a letter off before Singapore.
Anything wrong, Hopper?
No.
Now, come on, Pat. I may be called Hans Anderson, but I don't buy fairy stories.
It's nothing.
But?
Well, it'll probably sound daft to you, being a bachelor and all.
Try me.
Well, I've been detailed to land with this secret case in Singapore.
Yeah?
Well, you know what the captain said of it. It could be dangerous for those that land.
You don't fancy it?
No, it's not that. See, I told you it'd sound daft. I just got to thinking, if things did go wrong, I might not see the kid.
That's not daft. Who detailed you? The Jimmy? Is he going himself?
Yes, I think so.
Well, be all right then. Good hand is the Jimmy. I dive with him.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd get a letter off anyway.
Surge in the Philippines economy. Reports are coming in from Hong Kong of a crashed aircraft on a flight from Hong Kong to Singapore. The twin-engined and privately owned aircraft is said to have been on charter to the United Kingdom government and to have been carrying 2 Britons. named as Mr. Douglas Ellis, the pilot, and Mr. John Borderman of the British Foreign Office. First reports are that the aircraft crashed in the sea off the eastern coast of Vietnam yesterday morning, and that the British frigate HMS Hero and elements of the Hong Kong patrol boat squadron are searching for survivors. The recent industrial unrest in the port of...
How about that for a secret mission? Couldn't be Zoe, could it?
Are you querying my discretion, First Lieutenant?
More Zoe's ability to get at a story.
I didn't tell her anything. But it must be a security leak from Hong Kong.
There was that Russian bear this afternoon.
This job's becoming about as secret as yesterday's daily orders.
Which increases the chances of a reception committee in Singapore.
I'm afraid so. Now, we'll have to decide who's to land with the case.
I've decided. Me.
After another medal, James?
SIS don't give medals. We'll be lucky to recover the cost of hiring a car.
Taking anyone with you?
Our other George medal.
Fuller.
Well, I don't know the ship's company that well yet, but it's good enough for me that Fuller's had his name in lights once before.
Yes, I agree. He's the right man for the job.
Well, that's settled then.
Appears to be. I dare say you would have consulted me at some stage.
On what, sir?
A selection of personnel for the mission.
You after a medal too, sir?
Sadly, it would be undignified for me to rush around Singapore in a hired car.
Oh, I don't know. We could always get a Rolls-Royce or a Cadillac.
On SIS money.
Well, I had heard that your entertainment fund was very healthy.
Is that a roundabout way of asking for a nightcap?
Never drink at sea, sir. Except for medicinal reasons.
And you're feeling poorly?
Dreadful, sir.
Help yourself, James.
Yep.
Quick word, Master.
Oh, yeah, lads, come in. Grab a chair. Smoking?
No, thanks.
Right, what can I do?
You know that Jimmy's detailed Pat Fuller to land with this case?
I didn't, but it sounds sensible.
Except that Pat's twitched about going.
Well, I shouldn't expect he's doing handstands.
No, he's twitched. Really twitched.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Oh, that's probably my fault. I told him about this job in Aden. The blokes who went on it never came back.
It's the baby. He thinks that if it turns sour, he might never see the kid.
Oh.
I thought maybe if you had a word with the Jimmy, I could go instead.
And what's the first lieutenant going to say to Fuller?
I worked it out. Remember I pulled that Chinese kid out the sea, Kowloon side?
Yeah, you got the C&C's commendation. Damn good effort.
But Pat Fuller saved the bloke from a fire and got the George medal.
Yeah?
The Jimmy got the George medal for bomb disposal.
So what?
So what if I'm jealous? They risked their lives, got medals. I risked my life, got a piece of paper.
And now you want to have another crack at something dangerous?
Well, you could tell Pat that I complained that he gets all the glory jobs. And the Jimmy let me go just to keep the peace.
That's very decent of him.
He's a mess, mate, isn't he? Oh, just one thing.
Yeah?
Would you ask the Jimmy instead of me?
Why?
Well, the Jimmy and I dived together and he thinks I'm a cowboy.
To be honest, Hans, so did I.
And Anderson's willing to stand by the story?
To save embarrassing Fuller, yes, sir.
I did ask Fuller if he was a volunteer.
Fuller would never let you down, sir, no matter how worried he was.
Precisely. And that's why I want him with me.
But Anderson's all right.
All right, yes.
Well, he got that commendation, sir.
In his own element. A diver rescuing a child from the sea. Fuller had to conquer fear of a fire and go into that galley. That's the difference, Master.
Yes, sir, but...
Fuller's proved himself, and this is not the time to test out Anderson. No, I'm grateful, Master, and I'll see Anderson and thank him, but Fuller goes on that job with me.
Aye, aye, sir. Morning. Morning, Master.
Got a minute?
Why not? I've had half the ship's company tramping through here this morning. Park your best feature.
Thank you. It's this Singapore thing.
Surprise, surprise.
Can I go with you?
I'm taking Fuller. And if I have any more queries, I may even marry him to legalize it.
Sorry?
Forget it.
Why not take another officer?
Because I have decided to take the leading regulator.
But I want to go.
Well, anyone would think it was a day trip to Changi Beach. We'll be leaving the buckets and spades at home.
So, you don't think I'm capable?
Of what?
Of doing this job?
Sitting in the passenger seat of a rented car with a case on your knees.
You know what I mean. If anything goes wrong.
If anything goes wrong, I'll have doubts about my own capabilities.
So why are you going?
It's easier than sweating it out here, having delegated someone else.
I'm volunteering.
And I'm not accepting.
Can I see the captain?
You know where his door is. Go and knock on it.
And you won't hold it against me, going over your head?
You have every right to see the captain on a personal matter, same as anyone else in this ship.
And if he says I can go?
Go on, Paul. Go and knock on his door.
Have you asked the First Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
And?
He says he's taking Fuller.
It's the First Lieutenant Joe, and it could be dangerous.
Well, I wouldn't want to go if it wasn't, sir.
Why?
Well, sir, Navy in peacetime, I'm not exactly going to win the VC, am I? But this is, well, some sort of action at least.
That's exactly the reason, I imagine, why the First Lieutenant won't let you go.
Sir?
It's the state of mind that counts, Paul. And yours is wrong.
Aye, aye, sir.
Morning.
Good morning, Captain.
Coffee?
No, thanks. What word of our friends in the Pony Express?
They should be in Sembawang about lunchtime, their time.
Good.
Perhaps you'd care to have lunch with me.
I'd have been delighted, but I'm off on a little trip. Any minute now.
A trip?
I'm flying from Kaitak. I hate flying, don't you?
Where are you going?
Nowhere very interesting.
What about the hero mission?
What about it?
Don't you want to know the outcome?
I'll make sure that I do.
If anything goes wrong...
I have faith in the Navy.
It's not too late, Mr. Corbin.
For what?
To brief Holt before the landing.
Well, Holt has already been briefed.
You know damn well what I mean.
Well, if you do any more briefing, Captain, you may find yourself flying from Kaitak too, back to England and another job.
I won't be threatening, Mr. Corbin.
I'm not threatening, Captain. I'm prophesying.
Holt should be told.
Why spoil his day?
I thought about you carrying concealed weapons. They might compromise the mission if they were discovered. It's foreign soil after all.
I'm not keen on guns anyway.
I wish I had some advice to offer.
It may all be a damn squib.
Maybe. But you better keep your eyes open. You say you worked with SIS before?
Yes, about 3 or 4 years ago, a diving job.
Was it all right?
Well, I had the feeling throughout that I was expendable. And now history's repeating itself.
It'd be a great help if we knew how important the case is.
Corbin says it's vital, doesn't he?
Yes, but for how long and to whom? Today's secrets are tomorrow's common knowledge.
Well, as far as we're concerned, it's an order from on high.
True. But somewhere, somebody is leaning on someone.
Captain, sir, navigating officer.
Captain?
I'd like to come starboard to a course of 205, sir.
Yes, please.
Roger, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Land as soon as we're alongside.
Look out! Get in, quick!
Well, at least we know they're going to try.
What worries me, sir, is how hard they try.
Right. But if we can... We've got company.
We're not going to lose them, sir.
You strapped in tight?
Yep.
Right. As soon as we lose them, I'm going to stop, okay?
Okay, sir.
Then out of the car, fast as you like, and we take to the hills.
Sir.
Look, I've given up all hope of getting to Singapore. We're going to try and make it back to the ship.
Right. Well, shooting's going to start as soon as we clear the village.
We'll make for that road down there. Come on.
And then they started shooting.
Yes, sir.
And they meant it.
I'm sure they did. Only I could get hold of... Yes?
Mr. Corbin's here, sir.
Is he? Show him in, Paul. Yes, sir. Right.
Mr. Corbin, sir.
I trust everything went all right?
That depends what you mean, Mr. Corbin.
I beg your pardon.
Sit down.
Has anything gone wrong?
With your put-up job, you mean?
My what?
Admit it, Mr. Corbin. That aircraft left Sekong all right, but the two men had parachutes. At a predetermined spot, they bailed out over the sea.
What nonsense.
I saw 4 of the Hong Kong Patrol Squadron sail. But of course, there are 5 of them. And the 5th one was already at sea, at the very same predetermined spot.
Really?
The patrol boat on station picked up the 2 men and was able to give a very accurate fix of the crash position to ensure that we would find it. Would you like to carry on, James?
We were sent on to Singapore with the case where it was supposed to fall into the wrong hands. No doubt you tipped off the opposition through your own channels. And to make certain, you engineered a broadcast on the World Service.
I thought Captain in charge looked unhappy when I called on him. Now I know why. He was obliged to involve a frigate and the entire patrol squadron in a charade.
It's hardly a charade.
No, indeed. An extremely dangerous game. You always knew that as soon as these 2 landed, they would be attacked and relieved of the case.
Attacked?
And perhaps killed.
You let them get the case.
You don't seem too upset for a man who's lost vitally secret papers.
My job teaches me to be philosophical. You two aren't trained agents. You did very well.
Very well indeed. Your case is in the ship's safe. As my first lieutenant said, vitally secret papers. He brought them back.
He brought them back.
Would you mind, gentlemen? Take your drinks with you. Now, Mr. Corbin, an admission.
To what?
You set us up. Risked the lives of my men and caused us some very anxious moments.
This was an extremely important mission. A very clever ruse. Worthy of a better end.
An apology.
I have nothing to apologize for. I have a job to do. I couldn't tell you the truth. These things don't work with pre-briefing. It should have worked.
An apology?
For what?
Risking the lives of 2 men.
They should have abandoned the briefcase. They're amateurs.
Apologize, Mr. Corbin.
Very well. I apologize.
Good. Now, have a drink?
No, thank you. I have nothing to celebrate.
Only the success of your mission.
The success?
That's right. A success you owe to a very small Scots boy.
I don't understand.
My first lieutenant might have risked it on his own account, or with another bachelor. Or if I hadn't ordered him to dump the case if he got into trouble.
Are you saying that those 2 did give up the briefcase?
After a long and difficult getaway, during which they were shot at. Your opponents will swallow the bait, all right.
What was that about a small boy?
Napier decided that a father ought to endure rather longer than a set of documents. Despicable sentiments, I know, but we're like that.
I still don't get it.
You'll get our bill. A bottle of scotch and a baby's rattle.